The push and test rooms are a series of rooms that were used by developers of Legacy of Kain's Soul Reaver to test various mechanics and abilities. Up to 40 different test rooms exist in the various builds of Soul Reaver, where they can be accessed using debug menus or similar methods, although many are inaccessible or not present in the final retail build, which only contains the Push 1 room. The rooms are divided into two distinct separate areas. The push rooms are labelled as push, followed by a number, and tend to have a similar layout and focus on block movement. The other set of rooms are the test rooms. These are generally labelled as test, followed by a number. These are usually found in the debug menus under the heading Riley's Test Area, referencing designer Riley Cooper. All of the push rooms generally consist of a rectangular room with checkerboard flooring, with a large raised step across the middle of the room and a high platform in one corner. On the ceiling, the letters HIMD can be made out, potentially a message for programmer Mark David. Typically, each room will contain a number of blocks in various positions, and most contain a dart weapon. As with other areas of the game, some alpha versions can contain simpler objects or enemies which are updated as designs and specific files progress through the development process. Push 1 is the only push room left in the retail build of the game, although it can only be accessed through hacking. The room contains 2 dart weapons, a vase and a torch. Several blocks are found around the room, including one on the high platform. A fledgling and an adult Melkahim are present in the material realm, or 3 Slaw in the spectral realm, along with a Soul in planar portal. In the alpha, only 1 dart is present, and the blocks and vase use different planar designs. Most notable in this build, however, is the presence of another Raziel, which is aggressive if targeted. The Push 2 room is present in most of the builds, but does not show in any of the debug menus. When loaded through other means, it has the same basic layout as the other push rooms, and contains a torch, a different block style, a vase, a health upgrade, and a giant stake from Doomer's boss battle. Notably, the room has 5 different switch styles arranged around the walls of the lowest area, along with an adult Melkahim. Push 3 has the same layout, but this time with a single dart and several blocks. Enemies now include a single representative from each vampire clan, along with the human vampire hunters and a vampire worshipper. In the spectral realm, these are replaced with a vampire wraith and a sluer. In alpha, some block designs are different, and some of the models present are different due to the design changes at the time. For example, the Turalim model is different due to it being the only one present in the alpha. Push 4 has the same room with blocks and a dart. This time, only a fledgling Melkahim is present. Notably, the room contains several 2D fire sprites, which were unused and replaced with 3D particle effects in the retail game. The alpha version has one of the early bug Doomahim and no fire effects. Push 5 contains a notable green mist effect and a Melkahim, along with a taller 3-story block. Push 6 is a notable departure from previous room layouts and consists of a vast multi-leveled room with many slopes and steps, apparently designed for developers to test the various ways for blocks to change levels. The slopes in particular are very buggy and prone to glitches, potentially part of the reason for their removal from the retail game. Other interesting objects in the room include an anvil-like construction seen in the retail game only at the Stoneglyph altar, and the appearance of the green mist effect for distance fogging. Simpler alpha object designs are again evident. Push 7 returned to the layout seen in the other rooms, this time with a blue mist effect, with an additional torch. A Turalim and a Rahabim were present in material, or a Sloar in spectral. The alpha version had more green mist, and lacked the torch and Rahabim. Push 8 does not load in betas, and appears to only have files present in the alphas. In the alpha version, it shows as the same area as the regular push rooms with a slight green mist effect, but also with a distinctive feature. A tall chimney extends upward from the roof of the room and connects to a large circular area atop the room. This may have been used to test water level effects. Push 9 is another with green mist, fledgling or bug Doomahim, and a Sloar. In beta versions, the Doomahim is instantly set aflame. Push 10 has numerous additions to the regular push room layout, including a partially invisible floating platform, a trench which contains a flip switch which causes an earthquake, a greater variety of block designs, an extra dart weapon, a torch, a vase, an anvil, and even a copy of the Wraithblade, which can be picked up but only appears as a weapon in spectral. 2 Melkahim are present in material, with 3 Sloar in spectral, and the spectral realm has a noticeably brighter, multicoloured appearance, reminiscent of the spectral effects from earlier builds. There is also a subtle red tint to distance fogging. Similar to the push rooms, the test rooms all bear a similar layout, with all appearing as a rectangular room with raised terraces along each side, and a single shallow alcove on one wall. The test rooms only exist in the May and June beta versions, and are found in debug menus under Riley's test area, referencing designer Riley Cooper. The rooms mostly feature a basic set of objects, including a flip switch, a lever, a block, a fire, a shaft of sunlight, a dart, a torch, a vase, and a set of circular wall spikes. Test 1 contains all of the glyph counters using various special effects. It also has all of the aforementioned objects and a fledgling Doomer hymn. Test 2 contains the same objects, but without the glyph counters. This time an adult Doomer hymn is present. Test 3 is the same as before, but now with an adult revived Doomer hymn. Test 4 features a fledgling Malka hymn and an adept worshipper knife weapon. This can be picked up and used, a feature not present in the retail version. In Test 5 the position of the dart changes, and 2 adult Malka hymn were present, along with a Malka hymn pupation mount. Test 6 reverted the dart to its original position and added an adult revived Malka hymn. Test 7 featured a fledgling Rahabib. Test 8 counted as underwater and featured 3 Rahabim pupation pods on the terraces, one of which would spawn an adult Rahabim. Test 9 featured a revived adult Rahabim. Test 10 featured a fledgling Zephyrim. Test 11 featured an adult Zephyrim. Test 12 featured an adult revived Zephyrim. Test 13 featured a fledgling Terillim. Test 14 featured an adult Terillim. Test 15 featured an adult revived Terillim. Test 16 featured 3 Sluer and 3 Souls in the Spectral Realm. Test 17 featured a Vampire Wraith in Spectral. Test 18 featured a Novitiate Worshipper, armed with a Novitiate Staff. This weapon can be picked up and used. Test 19 featured an Adept Worshipper, armed with an Adept Knife. This weapon can be picked up and used. Test 20 featured a pair of crossbow-wielding vampire hunters. These weapons can also be picked up and used. Test 21 featured a flamethrower wielding vampire hunter. This weapon can be picked up and used, but only in melee situations. Test 22 featured 3 villagers. 2 were the blue male variant and 1 the red female variant. Test 23 featured 2 villagers. 1 was the green male variant and the other the purple female variant. Test 24 featured the bald male villager. Test 25 featured the devolved Melchiah. In addition, the hazard and objects were missing from the bottom level, leaving only the vase, dart and torch on the side terrace. Test 26 featured the devolved Duma. In material, he was stuck as though seated on his throne, but was fully active in spectral. Again, hazards and objects on the lower level were removed. Test 28 was the same as Test 27. Test 29 is not present in any known builds. Test 30 featured a more atmospheric and appropriate lighting, with a crossbow hunter and an adept worshipper in the centre of the room. The side terraces contained a health power-up, but the block was the only one of the basic objects to make it into the room design. On one of the side walls, a wide circular tunnel left off for some distance before terminating in solid rock. Test 31 is present in early beta files but cannot be accessed through the debug menus. Examination through other means reveals this code is used for the tunnel branching off from Test 30. Test 32 is also present in early beta files but cannot be accessed through the debug menus. Examination through other means also reveals that this code is used for the end of the tunnel branching off from Test 30. And a slaw. In the spectral realm, these are replaced with a vampire wraith and a slaw.
Slaw.
Shut up.
In
the spectral realm. Shut up.
Seriously, say slaw.
Coleslaw. Coleslaw. Shut up, it's not funny. I can say it. Push 5.
Oh, you're pushing what? Let's start over.
Yes. You fucker. Don't laugh at it. In beta versions of the Test 19 featured an adept worshipper armed with an adept knife.